Audio on.
We're good to go. We're live! What is up, guys? Welcome to Pop Culture Renegades, and we're here on Kamen Rider Korner. This is the first time we're ever doing this. Pop Culture Renegades is a channel that we're trying to build back up again, and we're kicking it off with Kamen Rider Korner. My name is Darrel. You guys might know me from that hashtag show. I'm a voice actor, and I do a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'm joined today with three awesome people. Let's get with introductions. Go.
My name is Jimmy. I do graphic design, I do video work, and I'm here, and I'm happy, and I just had coffee.
And I'm here, and I'm happy.
I just had coffee.
I'm so glad you're happy.
I would hope
Thank
so.
you.
Hi, my name is Justin. I am a podcaster. I have two shows. One's called Banjo and Spielberg. The other one's called Nothing New. It's a remake podcast. I said all that in one breath. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm also an independent filmmaker. Next.
Hey, I'm JD, and I'm usually behind the scenes on that hashtag show, but I'm gonna try this
He's
stuff in
on
front of the cameras.
Say hi to JDF.
Our JDF.
He's literally JDF.
I'm JDF.
He's the best JDF.
That's completely true.
Because every time you see like JDF's like Instagram stories, like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jason Dave. Freaking that's him. It's actually him.
Yeah. I'm
Actually,
just gonna start putting my face on all of JDF's pictures.
Please do.
His Instagram is JDFFN because he's your fan nation. The guy who played Tommy is your fan. So.
He really likes that.
So here on Kamen Rider Corner, we're gonna be talking about everything Kamen Rider, everything within that realm, the sister show of Super Sentai and Power Rangers. So let's jump right into it. We're starting this off because Kamen Rider Build's first episode started, but before we get into that, I want to know what everyone's introductions to Kamen Rider was.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm wearing the Kamen Rider shirt,
Yes.
so I'm the easy target. So my first Kamen Rider was actually a bootleg copy of the Japanese film Kamen Rider Zetto, directed by Keita Amamiya. And my cousin was basically he's the one who just handed this to me, and there was no subtitles, so I had to watch it raw. And he basically handed this to me. It's like, you like Power Rangers, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do. It's like, you're gonna like this. And I was blown away by this big budget, crazy design, freaky, scary monsters, and cool action. And I'm like, what is this?
What is happening?
What is this? This is so much better than Power Rangers. And I just kind of kept track of Kamen Rider since then. That was like in the early 90s. Mm-hmm.
So myself, I was a child of the 90s here in the States, and Masked Rider was what I watched. Mm-hmm. And that was
What's
a
Masked
show.
Rider?
It was a show. It was a show.
Kamen Rider translates into.
But yeah, I didn't know that Kamen Rider was a thing until I found out Super Sentai was a thing. And I actually started watching Kamen Rider with X8, and that's the best Rider series. Fight me.
X8 sucks. Yeah, I said it. Come at me, bro. All right.
We're gonna take bets on this fight, guys. It's
The big guy or the guy with martial arts?
Jimmy probably won. Let's be real. Like, Jimmy could sit on me and
I'll crush you. Literally.
Rider crush. JD.
So my introduction to Kamen Rider, was the Power Rangers at first, but when I got into Super Sentai, I think the Decade came out about the same time as Geki Ranger, around that time.
It was Shinkenger, right?
Shinkenger.
Yeah,
because
but
they had
Geki
the-
Ranger came before that, right? So my thing was that they finally did like a male Purple Ranger, which was really cool. I was like, that's really awesome. I was like thinking like, oh, would they ever do like a pink like male Ranger? And then I saw Decade, and I'm like, oh, that looks so badass that I have to check this out. So Decade was like my first Kamen Rider series that I checked out and kind of fell in love with the rest of it. So
Let's see. So my introduction to Kamen Rider was Masked Rider technically, but at its time I didn't really like it. And then when on all the fan forums, I remember jumping around, and there was this one guy that was kind of advertising Masked Rider Ace, and I was like, what the hell is this? And it was a picture of like from now I know Kamen Rider Blade, and I was like, what is Masked Rider Ace? What is that? That sounds stupid. Later on, when Bokinger started up, Bokinger start. Sorry, unintentional pun. I remember someone was subbing it, and they had the whole superhero time opening, and I was like, "Who's that beetle guy next to like all the Bokengers?" It's Kamen Rider Kabuto, and I was like, "That looks kind of cool. What's that?" So I started watching a couple eps. I never finished Kabuto, but I love Kabuto. And that was my introduction. My first ever like finishing through was Decade though, because it was an anniversary season, and I was like, oh, it's a nice introduction to everything in the past. I could probably get into this, and it was. And so immediately after watching that, I watched Den-O, and I love Den-O. It's just, Kamen Rider is so good. So I said this on our Henshin Hangout show on the hashtag show. If you had to describe Kamen Rider just as a whole to a Westerner in like the lamest possible way, like how would you like do that?
Which season?
Just as a whole, like what's Kamen Rider?
It's like Power Rangers,
raising your
but
hand?
bugs
No, go ahead.
and belts. It's like, I don't know.
Cyborg Karate Bugman.
I like that actually. That would get me to watch.
Like, in all seriousness, if you use like cyborg karate, that's terrifying. That's straight up terrifying.
He's a cyborg Bugman and he knows karate?
Like,
Yes.
my best friend's worst fear is kung fu fighting hobos, because and just this like series of like words just like sounds awful. So like kung fu fighting Bugman.
Yeah.
Cyborg
like we're playing
Bugman.
like Cards Against Humanity or something like that.
You have a cyborg karate Bugman.
That sounds like a card you'd get in a super fight. Like when you play a super fight.
What about you, JD? If you had to,
I would say like guy in a insect suit riding a motorcycle, fighting monsters.
See, you mentioned the motorcycle. That's good. I should have mentioned
Motorcycle, because he's
Because-
a Kamen Rider.
which is like,
Rider.
it's such a thing that's kind of like just kind of glazed over nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially since we had Drive and had the car, and we're talking about all these other series that you may or may not have watched. Really quick, I want to say hi to everyone in chat who is in chat. Jimmy, who do we have?
So we have Kat, we have
Hi,
Larry,
Kat. Hi, Larry.
we have Jezer,
Hi, Jezer.
Black Wing.
Black Wing.
Who am I missing?
I think that's everyone right now.
That might be it for now.
Yeah, I mean, this is an audience that
thank
will, eventually build up. So I'm kind
Thank
of
you guys for being here.
looking forward to that. All right, let's jump into
Brave?
Brave?
Brave.
Stop that.
Dinosaur Brave.
Kamen Rider Build Episode 1. Before jumping into that, what were your first impressions when you saw like what Build looked like?
He looked like a Kamen Rider.
Yes, I agree.
When I saw compared to when I saw X8 for the first time, I know you're a fan, so please forgive me when I do this.
I know where you park.
Is like when I saw X8 for the first time, I went, "Where are his bug eyes?"
Yeah.
That was my initial fear.
Yes.
Like, where are his bug eyes? And so when I saw Build, the first thing I got latched on was like bug eyes and antennas. We're good.
Right, we're fine. Yes.
Whatever after that, I'll see how it goes. But you look like a karate bug man.
Cybernetic.
Cyborg karate
Cyborg
bug man
bug
who
man.
rides a motorcycle.
With a motorcycle.
With math.
With math. Build neither science guy.
Build Nye the Science Guy.
I like that one. I like that one.
Build Nye the Hashtag Build Nye the Science Guy. Oh my gosh.
I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum because
Okay.
I started with X8. I tried starting with Ghost, but I couldn't get into it.
I started with was hot trash.
I think we can all agree on that, right?
That's what I heard.
I couldn't get into it, but I started with X8. So seeing Build and how drastically different he looked from X8 was a bit weird because I was used to the eyes and I was used to the hair, and he didn't have the hair or the eyes. He had antennas and bug eyes. I mean, I thought he looked cool, but it was so different than what I was like used to for the past like 42 episodes.
Right.
So
But with X,
42, like 40, 42.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a short season. So
like with X, I understand that if X8's your like gateway for a show, it's like I understand that's like that looks weird to you.
Yeah.
Where for me, when I'm aware of all the other versions of Kamen Rider, I'm looking at X8 and went, why are you?
What even are you?
What even are you?
Yeah, I think you're gonna be disappointed with the rest of the Kamen Rider series because none of them have hair. None of them have hair.
None of them have hair.
no, I mean I wasn't upset that
No,
he was
no,
so
no,
antenna.
yeah,
it just felt different.
Right.
I mean, it's not a bad different. It's just,
That's how I felt about Ninja Storm after Wild Force and like 10 seasons previously. It was like, why is there only 3 Rangers? Why is Blue a girl?
Why is he a little guy?
Yeah, it's like,
why are there 2 Blue Rangers?
Yeah, I understand that. It's just different.
Yeah.
And it's just like, after so many like, incarnations of like the same, it's just so weird to have different.
Right.
And that's generally why I didn't like X8, but I gave it 4 episodos. I just did not like
You
it.
didn't give it enough episodes.
I
You're
gave
supposed to
it
give it a full
4
40.
episodes.
Give it a full 40.
That's almost a whole show.
almost a full
Yeah, you don't grasp the season unless you see 40 episodes.
The show's 42 episodes.
I mean, after
It's
40,
like I hated it after 40. The last 2 I couldn't watch.
after 40 episodes, if you don't like it, then you feel free to stop watching. Like, that's just my rule.
It's just like, do I spend the
What
extra
if there's
40
a
minutes to
series
Unless
that
it's Ghost, then don't watch that.
When we're talking about a series like Decade that only has like 30-something episodes, do I still give it the full 40?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay, so does that
watching all
count
the
movies?
movies.
All right, there we go. That
All
counts
the
movies.
Every appearance. And if it's still not enough, you buy the toys.
And there was I think the 1 episode into Shikendra.
Yeah.
The one is in Shikendra, and then all the
Lots of
Tyson
crossovers.
appearances.
What's that? Yeah.
You'll get to 40, and then you'll whether you like it or not.
Is Tsukasa's 2 Tyson movies count as episodes? Like multiple episodes or like 1 episode?
It's
Didn't he
one
have,
really
like,
long episode.
3
Okay,
of them?
1 really long episode?
Didn't he have 3 movies?
How many movies has he been in? I know 2 for sure.
There's
And then
Tyson
he
First
had-
movies,
Tyson,
right?
the first Tyson,
Okay,
and then
he had-
like
And he
Heisei
has-
vs. Showa.
He has his own movie, right?
He has 2 movies of his
okay.
own.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
then he had the Decade crossover. And then everything after was just kind of like, oh, Decade, you're in this movie now.
Oh, we're putting a bunch of people in this? All right, Decade's in it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Anniversary season.
Yeah, I think that
Decade's
was
in
it. I think it was just those 3 movies.
Okay.
But yeah, Decade is just ridiculous. Let's not even jump into that. But yeah, so my initial reactions on Build is like, after the sour taste in my mouth that was X8. That's great music. I'm not gonna. But like, this is what I was like. Oh, he looks like a Kamen Rider. He feels like a Kamen Rider. I like this. This looks cool. And then I see the whole concept, and I saw the trailer, and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna like this. This is
Yeah.
gonna be cool. Because X8 was one of those shows that I feel like if it wasn't a Kamen Rider series and it was like another tokusatsu show, totally. Like,
Yeah.
but he didn't feel like a Kamen Rider. But yeah. What JD? Did you have any like?
He reminds me of Double.
Just too
He
much.
looks like Double to me.
There's a lot of double
It's
in
it's,
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
it's
whole
like
concept
Double
is
except
very
like diagonal.
double.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diagonal
okay.
double.
Diagonal double. Yeah.
Diag double.
Okay, so basically how this is gonna work, I'm just gonna run down how the episode went, and
Yeah.
you guys can chime in whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just cut me
Yeah.
off if you need. So Kamen Rider Builds episode starts off with the whole backstory. So on the moon, does anyone remember?
It was Mars.
Mars.
It was Mars.
It was the first like manned mission to Mars.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they find
Say that 3
Pandora's
times fast.
box. So continue.
No,
Can't.
it's fine.
I can't.
They were looking for Serpentera.
Oh, they went too far.
That was the move.
Were they on horses?
The
Beetleborgs,
Beetleborgs are there too.
the offshoot Kamen Riders. But yeah, so they were on Mars, and they find Pandora's box, and we don't have an origin as far as like where this box came from, but they decide to bring him back to Earth.
That's a smart move.
That's a
Yeah.
totally.
What harm would that do?
What would possibly go wrong bringing this weird alien artifact from Mars to Earth?
Well, funny you should mention that. Actually, they had this whole like press conference in the middle of like.
it was just to celebrate that they made it
They-
back safely.
They made it
and
back safely, and they had this giant outer space box, and then
It's covered in glass. Just-
Yeah.
this one guy in the crowd is just like, I'm gonna go touch it. I'm gonna touch the butt. And he runs up and slaps his hand down, and security's for this is awful.
He pushes the glass thing off. You'd think something would be more secure.
Yeah.
Right.
But he just it just kind of flips off, like it was meant to flip off.
Oh, yeah.
And just slaps the top, and then lights, and then everyone goes crazy.
And all 18
then-
people that are at this enormous event
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
like
exactly.
flying into the air.
Then Donald Trump's wet dream just separating Japan into 3 sections. So
No, continue. I
It
can't.
just grew from the ground.
So it divided Japan into like 3 sections. Like one is like social welfare, one is economic restoration, and one is like traditional pacifism. And that's like their focuses. And then it cuts forward to this really creepy scientist hitting on a reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what happened.
That's accurate. That's accurate.
I mean,
That's exactly what happened.
It had my attention.
I thought it was really interesting though that like even in the trailers they acknowledged this box that was like, okay, it split up Japan into 3 parts. I was like, excuse me? That sounds really dumb and kind of ambitious.
Yeah.
What are they doing? And so to see it actually happen, and then people like slow motion flying up in the air, and these Attack on Titan walls and, like rise out of Donald Trump's wet dream, rise out of the ground. It's just, oh, okay, so how is this gonna play into a science season? So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes.
Like, there's a lot going on in this first episode. And so much so they have to mention what happened twice.
Yeah,
and that's even before we meet Build. That's like all happens before we even see the person who's Build.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then then we meet Build.
So we meet a guy,
Sento.
Sento,
Ryujin.
Ryukendo. Sendo Ryukendo.
The Asian dude.
Yeah.
That doesn't help in this case.
Sorry, we'll get it. We'll get his name by
Sento. I know Sento for sure.
Yeah, Sendo for
I
sure.
remember his first name.
Yeah.
I made a point.
So
Stuck.
security again on this like interplanetary artifact is awful, but
Sento Kiryu.
Sento Kiryu.
Thank you.
See, I knew it. Sort of.
Kind of.
He runs up to this box and he looks through, and he's like, "Oh man, what's this? Is this Pandora's box?" And he has the weirdest like character trait of his hair just.
Jimmy, did you really like that part where his hair popped
so
up?
I don't mind the hair popping up part. I don't like the boop.
The little noise.
Yeah, okay, the first time I'm cool with it. That happened like every single time. And I'm like, if he's gonna keep doing that, can we at least get rid of that sound effect? Because my hair doesn't do that.
I can't. How would I get my hair to do that?
How would you know it goes up? Besides seeing visually, it went up. You have to hear it.
I mean,
Because he can't see it.
He can't see it.
Everyone else can,
close-up
but he can't
shot.
see it.
It's a close-up shot. It's nothing but hair.
It's like, it's like I can't say it on film. And, but it's like. I think I would have liked that trait more if he gets excited, for lack of a better word, and then he goes, "Oh man, sorry," you know, like he tries to fix it. I think that would have been a really cool
something about Mary
from the Little
hair
Rascals.
pop up.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, he sees that, and then cuts to this reporter that's like really trying to find out more about like who this Kamen Rider is, and we get like to know that Kamen Rider is a commonplace word in this universe.
Right. Yeah. That made me really happy.
Yeah. So it's like,
when a reporter's like, "Do you know about this Kamen Rider?" I went, "Oh, it's starting."
So that's what I mean. It's like, okay, so what is this universe like that we know what a Kamen Rider is? Is Build calling himself a Kamen Rider, or are there more riders? You know, and that's.
I mean, he met X8 in the finale of X8.
Those are never canon, except for Decade, because Decade ruined the entire timeline. Anyway.
So it turns out he's really smart because he passed their entrance exam. Like,
that apparently no one passes.
And he had a perfect score.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, we learned that, and it cuts to like this kind of douchebag that's like asking out this girl. Is like, "Hey, we can talk about the Kamen Rider in my hotel room."
Next door all night long.
All night long. And she like walks through him for like a half second and goes, "Excuse me?" And
was she a reporter? Or
she was a reporter.
Okay.
Yeah. Your April O'Neil, Lois Lane type was like, what the heck?
I wanted to learn how she kind of fares into this story, because like, is she gonna be a reporter for the whole entire series, or are we gonna get her to be like more intimate with the writer?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's also a weird thing too. I've not really seen a reporter character in the Tokusatsu superhero show.
The closest we've really ever gotten was the Kamen Rider Club in Forza, but that was only because they were like, "Oh look, it's a Kamen Rider," blah blah blah, on their iPads and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah. Because
no one really reports on like giant monsters or like insect cyborg kung fu fighting,
motorcycle riding bugmen
rolling around town.
In Ryuki?
Oh, there is.
Was there?
Yeah, there's one in Ryuki.
There is.
All right.
Yes.
You got proved wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just nodding my head and agreeing.
Ryuki, I'm not like completely.
I'm not that familiar with Ryuki. So.
Yeah.
I started it. I just never finished it. But yeah, one of the characters. is a
Ryuki apparently has like the one like exactly the same story as Madoka Magica. For any of you guys that are like aware of the anime, someone did the side-by-side comparison of like the same color character dies at this part of the story, and it's the same exact problem, and the main character has an evil cat. It's like, I don't know, but we're going off topic here. I could go on for days about that crap. So yeah, we get our first shot at Build, who is defending the reporter from
a smash.
A smash. That's what we're calling the main villains of this series.
Looks like a Veritech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a weird jet person
Like,
thing.
he looks awesome.
Yeah.
I really like it.
He dies right away though.
I'm not
like one hit and he's done.
very quickly
It's like,
in this
here,
battle.
come
Yeah.
into. Let me get your essence. This little grenade-looking thing.
I gotta say, like, in this moment when the reporter is looking on and she's seeing his eyes are glowing, city behind him, and she's going, Kamen Rider, I'm sorry. But after a year of X-Aid, when she goes, it's a Kamen Rider, I'm almost like, yes, yes, yes it is. Yes, it's a Kamen Rider.
Tears.
Just like tears coming out of my
Is that the
eyes.
first time you've cried at Ryder?
Oh no, it was Forza, but
We'll talk about that later.
much later.
I
But
wanna know
cried on
this.
Forza.
The only thing missing from that scene was like the scarf from like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Double.
That's
like- yeah.
Double had the scarf.
That's
Oh
all
yeah, that's it.
Everything
Double
else is
had a
just, like,
scar.
exactly
the
same thing.
last thing. But outside of that, I was like, it's a Kamen Rider. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what a Kamen Rider looks like.
This Rider fight was great. And
Yeah.
like it was so subtle. It was kind of quick, but it was in dark and it was just shadowy, and it was like, I like what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
The aesthetic looks cool, and then he beat this thing called, I don't like that they're called Smash. That's the one thing I don't like. Because it's like, oh no, it's the Smash. It just doesn't sound menacing. Maybe in Japan it does.
I'm sure it
but-
does. Like, you ask a little Japanese kid, like, does Smash sound scary? They'll probably say yes.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Maybe it's just something that doesn't transcend our cultural borders.
Like, it's an English word that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So, like, ooh, a smash.
I would smash that. Like,
Yeah, we've taken it and made it something dirty. And
As
which is why
Americans
it's funny.
tend to do.
Which is why it's funny.
exactly.
America. Not gonna finish that. So good.
Yeah. And then what happens after that? So
Then
Well, the credit shows.
this-
And then,
oh yes, we have the what do you need, Christmas? that whole part where they all have the sponsors, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then we
are we in
to-
Sento's apartment?
We're in
Yeah.
Sento's apartment.
He's like
now.
asleep and he has like writing on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing my thing. Or he's just sleeping in a chair.
He's doing his best JD impression. So he gets up and he's like, "Oh, my microwave is going off," and he goes and inside the microwave is a full bottle. It's a white one. This little Asian girl comes out. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Look, look."
Out of the other door. That's
Out of the other
basically
door.
the microwave.
Yeah.
He's like, "Look what I made. Look, thank you. It's a hedgehog." She's like, "I don't care. I'm just gonna go back to sleep."
You have to appreciate the fact that this guy, because we know from all the pre-release things that he gets his powers from these little tiny bottles.
Yeah.
He gets his powers from a microwave, and it's like, this is what?
There's a lot going on
Yeah.
here, because it's not only like we're finding out that he takes the powers from the Smash.
Yes.
And then
the Smash turns them back into humans, so we
Right.
know they're human.
Right. And then with the process of taking the powers from Smash, this girl does
Refines them,
something.
I guess.
She has superpowers and
Yeah.
kind of maybe takes the essence from them and
For lack of a better word,
purifies
yeah,
them. Like, purifies them.
And the human doesn't remember what happened to them.
Yeah,
He has
Oh,
no
yeah.
memory
Yeah.
of it at all.
The human has no idea what's going on. Like, they don't remember how they got there,
Mm-hmm.
like why they're there. They just
But they're all wearing that same like white get up.
Yeah.
Smock thing.
Yeah.
And that's when.
like, it's kind of expended a little later as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
that's when we really learned that Sendo actually has amnesia.
Yeah.
And even though the head director, the douchebag who we saw in the beginning, is like, "How did you figure this out?" "Oh, I just know how to do it."
Yeah.
But I have amnesia.
But except he does remember a couple of things.
Yeah.
And it's the moment that made me go, hey, that looks like Kamen Rider.
Yeah, that because do you know the origin story of like the original Rider? Kind of, sorta.
Kind of, sort of.
So basically, guy gets kidnapped, gets turned into a cyborg.
Bugman.
Cyborg Bugman,
On a
and
motorcycle.
thus making him Kamen Rider. And so the whole scene of him like being kidnapped in this green like water slime capsule thing, and what is
like these
name?
gas mask guys.
Yeah.
And then for me, like a hardcore old school Kamen Rider thing is that there is a bat hyphen man.
Yeah.
The main
involved.
villain's Batman.
He's Batman.
He's the Batman.
The name we've been given is Night Rogue. That's the name of this villain.
That's what we're calling him?
I thought it was Kiva. Kiva.
But like, if you know your old Kamen Rider, like Bat hyphen man is
Yeah.
one of the first ones that Hongo fought.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a thing they go back to a lot. Is like whenever you see a Kamen Rider fight a Batman, that's something where it's like a straight up classic.
I knew
throwback.
about like him fighting the Batman and whatever, but I didn't know that was like a kind of like throwback all the time.
Yeah, if you like, let's say like you watch Gaim.
Yeah.
So it's Gaim is its own thing. Like it's like the whole way we're b-boy dancers,
Yeah.
we're fruit samurais.
B-boy fruit dancing samurai.
For like 8 episodes, and you know if you're into Gaim, you're kind of into that show.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a bat creature shows up, and that's my sign up, and now it's a Kamen Rider show.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and that's like a cool little like.
I had no idea.
That's like a cool little now you're a Kamen Rider.
I would pay to see a Kamen Rider fight actual Batman like Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
I would pay to see that. DC, if you're listening, I know more.
I don't know how. Because writers are already like kind of OP for some stupid reason. Like even if they get beat, they'll like. It's the same thing I have with Rangers and Super Sentai. No matter who the Rangers are fighting, they'll get their their butts beat or whatever. But then some stupid power of friendship and teamwork will have them start glowing and grant them that one power that they need in order to beat said villain. And so for that, I forgot who we were talking to. I think we were talking about this, but it's like, I kind of want them to fight Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet just to see what bullshit they could pull.
You said the S word.
Yeah, whatever.
But Batman's like OP on his own.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
And so that's why I
But
want
he
to see.
doesn't have the power of friendship.
That's
Well,
true.
until
He has the
until
Justice
Robin.
League.
They all leave him.
I think certain Kamen Riders don't really have the power of friendship. I mean, they basically fight alone.
Power of friendship.
Yeah.
No.
They get a partner at some point, but
Right.
they basically fight alone.
Even the partner's negotiable.
yeah, that's true. Like Birth.
Yeah. You didn't want him really.
That guy was awesome though.
I love Birth. That's true.
Both of them. Both of them were good.
All right. So where did we leave off?
Their apartment.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So in the
Comes out
pan-
of the refrigerator.
Yeah, she comes out of the refrigerator.
Oh, that's right. He lives in the refrigerator.
So he puts his thing in a microwave, right? And then he gets powers,
Yeah.
and then he comes out of a refrigerator. So it's
He's eating his answer like I'm late for work toast.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that,
So that's probably a good thing. He's gonna be eating like the whole series
Yeah.
is toast.
I think that's
And
that's gonna be a thing
And then we meet the owner
of the establishment.
establishment.
that's
This
where-
cool hipster barista.
Yeah.
That's where we find out that he has
Speaks
amnesia.
French.
right there. Yes.
We find out he has amnesia. He can remember a few things, the gas masks, the Batman,
The Batman.
and then so apparently he got a job working with the creepy scientist guy.
Yeah.
He takes out an iPhone with some gears on it. He gets his little full bottles. And he gets a motorcycle.
he made a motorcycle
out of the
smartphone.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the same motorcycle he uses as a civilian and as a rider.
I'm gonna touch upon that.
I'm gonna.
at
That's
the end.
a legitimate. That's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I
touch
know what
upon
you're gonna talk
that.
about.
We'll
that.
answer that. We'll answer that.
I know what you're gonna say. Keep going.
But right there. Owner guy of the establishment is taking refuge. Taking pity upon this guy, and he's taking him in, and he's like, "But I'm still charging you rent." I feel like that's gonna be a thing.
She
That
built up a year of rent.
yeah. After 40 episodes of Rent, I'm very excited to see how much he's going to owe. This is gonna be a fun series.
This also brings me into the fact that he's also like the second writer I can think of who's dealing with amnesia, because
Oh, yeah.
Akito also had an amnesia problem.
There was another one. Gosh. Or technically, Decade did too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a problem. Kamen Riders have amnesia problems.
It's just a problem. These
should
super
wear helmets.
powered
Maybe that's the key to becoming a writer is just hit your head really hard.
hit my head really
We
hard.
should test this theory. We'll figure it out.
How you
next
feeling?
episode.
Henshin.
Oh.
So, Sendo's riding off to work on his smartphone motorcycle, and Doesn't he?
When does that come out in Japan? In America?
Right, smartphone motorcycles.
Give Apple one. Well, there's a big announcement September 12th from Apple. We'll find out then. But
he rides off to work and everything like that, and we get this news report, basically saying that
An ex-boxer.
Oh yeah, ex-boxer. What was his name? Banjo Ryuga.
Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie has escaped from jail.
Because apparently he killed the scientist.
That's terrifying. Banjo-Kazooie escaping from jail. Just a mental image of that. I'm sorry. And so Sento kind of takes it upon himself. I should go find him. And finally finds him. And the boxer is like, just like, no, I didn't kill anyone. You have it all wrong. And despite like all the interactions that's happening, he's just not believing him.
Yeah.
And then we have our monster attack.
Smash.
And we also find before that we also find out that he's describing what happened to him.
That's right.
Just like what happened to Sendo. And Sendo's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait,
like,
you're going through the same thing, and Banjo's still like, get the hell away from me.
Yeah, at that point, Banjo's like, you didn't believe me before, why all of a sudden are you believing me now?
Yeah.
Like, get away from me. Then the Smash shows up. He knocks Sento out of the way, and he starts fighting Banjo.
with his bare fist.
With his bare face.
That
Doesn't do anything.
No. In true Kamen Rider fashion. And then Sendo does the thing that everyone likes in Kamen Rider. He henshins. So let's see. How does it start? So he's like, stand aside, and he takes out these bottles.
Yeah.
And he puts the driver on his belt, and he's like, starts shaking, and these equations just kind of show up on the side for a whole 7 seconds. I counted.
I was there.
I don't like.
Did you do the math too?
I'm not that kind of Asian. I can't.
Any of us get Asian.
I'm not even Asian.
I can't do that.
I can't do that either. But 7 seconds, yeah.
It's 7 seconds of just like
count.
And it's one of those things that like I think would have been really cool if it like kind of like sprouted from the belt and then just like kind of dissipated really quickly. But it was there for a while and it just kind of lingered. And I was just like, okay.
Even if the math equations would like hurt the monster a bit to kind of have him back off.
Oh yeah, like as a
enough
shield or something.
Yeah, like enough to kind of give him time to like fully henshin. That would have been cool. But yeah, they did nothing. It was just decorations.
Yeah.
And it was
Maybe
7
really cool
seconds
if like the monster was trying to figure out the like equation and that's what like stunned him.
You know what? I would have been okay with that. That would have been really funny.
I know, I'm not good at this. What is this?
Where's my calculator? Someone send me a T1.
I didn't do well in this.
Silver won't calculate this.
And he finally puts the fill bottles in his belt, and he starts to crank.
Perfect! Our best match!
I can't get used to the cranking.
The cranking is on this
Oh yeah,
side.
sorry. He's holding it, and he's like, I can't get used to the cranking. He's just,
The shaking thing is where I'm wondering, like, really? So every time he's just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Let's
Yeah, like, oh man, you made me so mad. Let's do this.
The shake his maracas.
I do like the animation sequence though. Like it goes inside of the belt, you see the inner workings and the piping,
that was great.
It comes out and.
It's the little things about this belt that's like, this is taking a long time.
Right. And I'm sure it's a lot of, we're showing off what the toy looks like. Kitties, and then when the show keeps going,
It'll
be
make
like
it
2
faster.
seconds. Yeah.
Because I feel it's just going to be like, go. And then, but here it's just like, come on. Yeah, yeah, this is happening.
Stores now.
Buy the toys, buy the toys,
Kids,
buy the toys,
when you buy your own, do the same thing.
They make this fun clicking sound that your parents are going to love.
Rabbit!
I hope they're like all like bubble things, like you just open it and blow bubbles out of it. That'd be great.
Also, the toy screams at you, so...
Rider belt yelling.
Yeah!
Rider belt yelling since 2011. Probably before that.
Rabbit! Tank! Best match! And then it says get ready, or are you ready, or something like that.
Are you ready?
Yeah. There's a lot of talking in this belt, which, I mean, I'm not completely opposed to. It's kind of cool, but it's like...
Rider belt talking has been a thing.
Yes.
And I've gotten to that point where I'm like, which ones do I like it the least, and which ones am I tolerable?
Yeah.
with? And I feel like Wizard's belt never shuts up.
I know. I hate the wizard.
Doesn't Driver's belt actually have a face that talks?
His belt literally talks.
Because he has a name. His name is Mr. Belt.
His name is
Oh, it
Mr.
is.
Belt.
Yeah.
Belt-san.
Like, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Forza's was all right because it just said like 3, 2, 1.
It's a countdown, and it's short, and we're done.
And then you just hear the the switches.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, like all the other belts don't exactly talk. It's this one. It's very talkative.
It's very talkative, sure.
Let's jump into chat really quick. Let's see. What are people saying? Here, you do the thing.
I never learned to read. No.
How did you watch this episode?
I didn't.
You're doing a very good job for someone that didn't watch.
Thank you. I'm really good at just BSing my way through life.
Just guessing. It's like, that looks like a rabbit.
So who do we have in chat right now?
So right now we have Larry still here.
Larry's still here.
We got Mars Girl.
Oh, I'm Mars Girl.
Hello. I'm trying to find some new people. Krishna was in here earlier from Rangers Live Chat.
No one cares about Krishna. No, I'm kidding.
Jeff Burns is here. He said, Darrel, you're everywhere.
Inside joke. And I'm not quite sure why that's the inside joke, but no.
I think those are like the only new people.
But what's everyone saying?
It says, pretty
than-
unique transformation from the build cell phone.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely was cool. I mean, that's going to be on store shelves.
Yes.
So that's how we get the Apple Rider. That was from Jeff Burns.
Apple Rider.
Is that like from Gaim?
Which one?
An Apple Rider?
We have an Apple Rider, a
there we go.
golden Apple Rider. Technically,
that-
he's a movie exclusive rider.
So Blackwing says he feels like Ryuga, I guess that's Banjo, might be the secondary rider.
You know, I was
Possibly.
feeling that too,
I got that feeling too.
especially at the end of this episode, which we'll get to, obviously.
Let's see, Joseph Deckelmeyer said, dude, Larry, you're the man. Larry is the man.
Larry is the man. For anyone that doesn't know, Larry is in fact man.
I thought he was actually gonna give him like one of the things, like at the end, like when he was like gonna.
The shaker?
Yeah.
The shake.
Like one of the little
What are these
bottle things.
What are these called though?
Full bottles.
Full bottles?
That's what
Full
it's called?
bottles, yeah.
All right.
But
Yeah,
they're only like half full. And that's
You
why
know,
you
when you shake them, they
look full.
They look full, yeah.
Can they go to the like liquor store and be like tequila, rum?
best match. Dad Rider. So,
Okay, so Blackwing said his henshin was awesome. Yeah, we didn't finish talking about the henshin.
yeah. So really quick, while we're talking about the henshin, as far as I know, the henshin is one inorganic object, like tank, and then one organic object.
Like rabbit.
Yeah, rabbit. So I want to know from you guys, what is your best match? Like, what do you think would be an awesome, like, form? Like, just in general. What about you guys?
Mine would be Dr. Video Game.
Stop that. Get off. Hi.
Just any
Are you ready?
Best match.
Uh,
What's the best match?
I'm trying to think. Okay, maybe dog plane.
That sounds terrifying. A flying dog.
A flying
What would his
dog
abilities be then?
plane. Hold on, smelling. And clearly flying.
What are you, JD?
I'm thinking the first animal that came to my head was sloth. And I'm thinking Segway, like sloth Segway.
That too is kind of terrifying.
He's just like rolling.
I think he just turned into a mall guard.
Stop.
Paul Blart. Paul Blart.
Best match. Paul Blart. I'm gonna stick with grasshopper motorcycle.
Oh, how quaint.
Yeah, right.
I think that's just a Kamen Rider.
You'd be
So
surprised.
is Dr. Video Game.
Oh, well.
He looks nothing like a Kamen Rider. Watch. Oh man,
Oh, so Jeff Burns said his would be Train Darrel.
Train Darrel to do
What?
what?
Like a
It's
train.
you?
Like a train.
No, like
like a train, like a choo-choo.
And you.
And then you.
Like how to train your
Best
Darrel?
So we'll have your hair,
that.
and then like a really long arm.
So I'm thinking Thomas the Tank Engine, but with hair, and that's That's
Darrel's face.
nightmare fuel.
Actually, what that would look
Darrel's
like is
face.
if you take it to Kuger and you give him X8's helmet hair. That would be Darrel.
And then, like, as it's going down the tracks, it just randomly spits out anime lines. In Johnny Young Bosch's voice.
It's just yelling the whole time, just
All right, here we go.
not answering his text messages. Just
Traindale got personal.
Blackwing's, theirs would be Jet and Bull.
Jet.
That's
Red
actually-
Bull, like a Red Bull.
It gives you wings.
That's really smart.
That's
actually.
actually because like you imagine like the horns.
Yeah.
And it's flying.
And
It's
just
way better
imagining
than-
how
is it
fast a
sugar-free?
jet can go.
It could be sugar free.
It could be sugar-free.
It could be
Like-
sugar-free. Yeah.
Red Bull.
Like the fill bottles are 2 like Red Bull cans.
You know how it, like when Rabbit Tankett says like steel moon salt, it's like sugar free. That or gives you wings.
Then, Larry's would be Cheetah and Lightning.
That's
Cheetah lightning.
well. Would you
Is lightning
would you count lightning as like?
That's more of like
And
an
magic.
elementally thing.
I
so-
would I think that would be more along the lines of Kamen Rider Double specifically because he would
Yeah.
do like Cyclone or Heat
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Luna.
I think
Yeah.
if you had to like choose something fast, I don't know, a Ferrari or something. What's the fastest car? Who's a car enthusiast? What's the fastest car? Lambo. Cheetah Lambo.
That would be one fast comment.
Jesus Christmas.
So Blackwing commented, "Isn't that technically the Flash?"
Yeah.
So
He
yeah.
would look like Justice League.
I guess so.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for like the face is covered.
Yellow and red.
Like a reverse
I think that
Flash.
would be really.
Cheetah, because Cheetah is a villain in.
Oh yeah,
That is
Cheetah is a
true.
villain
That is
in like
DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Really?
Huh, yeah.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
chick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it one of Wonder Woman's?
It's
like-
Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
Yeah, she's one of Wonder Woman's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about Wonder Woman other than the movie, so
Okay,
don't
so-
hate me. All right. Let's jump back into
Back
episode.
into the henshin.
Back
Yeah.
into the henshin, and while you guys are like continuing to do that,
Yeah, please continue. These are fun.
these are great. Okay, so he henshins and
the pipes come out and it looks like one of those like model kits.
I was
you
gonna
can
say,
buy.
yeah.
it looks cool.
Yeah.
It builds him. Huh? Who would have thought that?
So it sandwiches him together into his suit.
I really like that too. When he cranks it and he's like, henshin, and then like just goes at. He does this weird like instead of a fist. We were talking about this earlier. Instead of a fist, he does this like weird like hand thing. I'm doing with your hands and sandwiches, and then Rider, and this is the first time we get to see him in a good lighting because before we saw him,
Yeah, in the night.
Unless you
At
saw
night.
him in X8, and then he had great lighting there too.
Okay, well.
I'm gonna keep bringing that up.
Don't watch X.
It's gonna be gone. You know that, right? At some point, you can't keep using that.
Later on in the
challenge
future,
me.
in the future episode, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's showing off this new ability. Actually, if you watch the movie, shut up.
Shut up. We get it. We get it. We get it.
You get it. You like X8. Get out of here.
Get off the show. But yeah, so he's fighting him, and then he summons. He doesn't really summon; it just kind of happens. This drill sword that kind of looks like it was kind of ripped from Forza.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or from Mega Ranger.
It came out of nowhere though, right?
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Well,
he
like-
was just fighting, and then the pipes just came out of the belt, and he grabbed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he like summoned it; it just happened.
Yeah. He summoned it, I think, because I think it was another shaka, and
So here's the thing I tend to notice about Japanese like products and whatnot. Every time there's a drill, it's colored yellow, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. So Forza's drill in is yellow.
Yeah.
There's in Sonic Colors. If anyone played Sonic Colors, actually fun fact, the announcer for all the Gaia memories in Double is the same announcer in that game, but in the Japanese
really?
version. Yeah. And so
that's
like Joka Torega, you know, he's
Yeah.
in the game in the Japanese version, and so you get Doril and it's yellow. And I'm like, why is and then in Ghost Ager, they have a yellow drill also or something like that.
oh yeah, there is.
It's just like every drill in like Japanese is yellow, and I'm not sure why that is. But
It's, you know the drill. That's how they do it.
Why is
That's
it
the
yellow?
drill. That's the drill.
That's
There
the
you go.
drill.
We're gonna just go with that answer.
Anyway, moving on.
He has a drill sword, because why wouldn't he?
Yes, exactly. He fights him as Kamen Riders usually do,
That's kind of what happens.
and he defeats him, and he like gets the what are you calling it? The essence?
No, you skipped ahead. He gets the fill bottle that he made earlier.
That's right.
And he switches it out, and he becomes
Take over for this, because I'm like blanking.
He becomes Tank, and then
Hedgehog Tank.
So he's blue, and he's like white, and he looks really, really dope. So he kind of uses it, and he has like a big spiky arm, and he's beating the crap out of this monster. Then he switches back, and he said, "Okay, I'm getting bored. Let's just finish this off." He does the rider kick.
Yeah.
The rider kick.
Yeah, so he kind of jumps down into the ground. Then he's an earthbender.
Yeah.
So he earthbends the floor up. He jumps as this like mathematical equation. And
I love his little. Hold on. 1 minute as he gets some traction.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he running away from the monster?
It's like, oh no, because like
Wait
he's
a
gonna
minute.
science the hell out of this situation.
Yeah.
He's calculating.
He's
while
the
running.
trajectory and like where he needs to go and the slope.
What did you think about this rider kick? First of all,
Can he not jump that high? Because he has to have that earth like bring him all the way up. And then he's just like,
You'd think with the rabbit foot he could jump really high.
Yeah.
'Cause They showed
well,
that
only
earlier.
1 foot. Yeah, only on his one foot.
Still, and then
You just need the 1 foot to jump.
I do love the attention to detail because when he stepped with the rabbit foot, you see the rabbit.
oh yeah,
like,
that was very
yeah.
cool.
That
So
was
there's
good.
like really some cool attention to detail. So he does that. He kind of slides, and with his tank foot and the treads are moving, he kicks him, and then he defeats this
Not
monster.
only does he
like-
kick him, the treads are moving while he kicks him.
Yeah.
That's just like salt to your wound.
Just like
He slides,
really
like-
thorough rider
He
kick.
slides on the like equation.
Yeah.
And he slides down.
I forget what that's called because geometry was the
the
only
slope?
geometry
slope?
was the only
it the
math
slope?
class I ever passed.
it's slope,
And I
it's
know
slope.
there's a specific name for that. And I can't think of it.
If you're a mathematician
Downward
and watching this show
projection.
and Bill, please let us know.
Yes, leave that in the comments. I love this rider kick so much. It just makes me so happy.
And he's sandwiched in between the equation, the monster, so he can't move.
Yeah, it like forms a little thing around him. It's like this is the right amount of silly that I come to expect from riders.
Yeah.
X-Aid was just too much, but that was perfect.
I always like the idea when you force the monster to stay put.
Yeah,
Yeah, then he collects the essence.
because then it makes sense.
Right.
Because before it's just like, huh? What? I should move, but I want to stay still.
I gotta finish this through. What are you doing? Finishing move. Oh.
Does it really make sense that an equation would stop?
Yes.
Like it just wraps around.
It will
him?
in this show.
It's like when you're like, it's like when
a
you're
thing.
doing
Yeah.
a test and you're like doing really well,
And you get stuck.
and you get to that one math question, and you're like, shit.
If he was actually doing a test, I would love that. That would be way better.
Wait till you get to episode 18.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
So he beats the monster. He collects his essence, and
Yeah.
just at that moment, like the creepy scientist and his goons,
The douchebag.
and
military
his stormtroopers
faction.
show up,
Stormtroopers.
and he's like, "You're coming with me." But at this
Troopers.
point,
To
actually,
Banjo.
no. Actually, let me go back a little bit. The Smash was actually someone that Banjo was.
Oh, that's right.
Like he's like, "Hey, I know that guy," and the other guy's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, who are you? I don't remember you." And that's when they show up, and
Yeah.
he kind of runs into the bushes, and they're like, "Give us the fugitive," and at this point, Bill's like, "I kind of believe you, so let's just go."
It was this really nice, like, not talking sequence.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Banjo was kind of overreacting a little bit, understandably so, but he was just like, why won't anyone believe me? And it's just, like, super overacting, but whatever, it's
right.
Kamen Rider. And it's just, like, these close-ups of just Build's face, just like,
I'm gonna regret this.
whatever, let's...
This is what I like about the scene. It's like at this point, most of the time with Sento, is
Yeah.
that Sento is mostly doing things out of figuring out what his situation is,
Exactly.
figuring out his science, and sciencing the heck out of it, and figuring out his memories.
Yeah.
This bit with Banjo is his first real "I'm doing a hero" moment.
Yeah.
and I really like that.
And yeah, it just felt so nice and like, even with the suit, especially, it's such a challenge with like any of the tokusatsu stuff because you have a helmet and you have to like, you can't really tell, and so just these like, all right, let's do this. It's like you can tell, and it was like, oh, I like this.
I think he even said, "I'm gonna regret this."
Yeah, he does.
And he's like, "Here's the helmet. Let's go. Don't be stupid. Put on a helmet." and they're like, they kind of run away, and the stormtroopers, they can't seem to hit.
What did you say earlier?
I was like, why are the guns like so like short? Like they just hit like up to here, like the motorcycle's here, and they
Some
all
of
shot
them weren't
like,
even
to here.
shooting
It was just,
down.
like, yeah.
It was
like,
just really.
There's so many guns. How are they not hitting this guy?
This is a fun sequence too, because it's like a legit. We're gonna do a motorcycle chase, but
Yeah.
oh how quaint!
Yeah,
An
it's like
actual motorcycle action sequence in a rider.
in a rider suit. Yeah.
That
And they just conveniently have guys with like rocket launchers like on the wall, just shooting at him. It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna ride, and then there's like 4 more just on the wall because they're just there.
I dig the bit where he basically has Banjo control the bike. He uses his like tank foot to get some traction,
with the
and
tread,
with the tread, and he does some kicks.
the rabbit foot, just kicking the missiles out.
Yeah,
Of the way.
Kicking the missiles
back
away.
to the
And I'm like,
guys.
awesome.
I like how he like had him like switch place. Here, take the Jesus, take the wheel. He's like, what? Ah, oh no! That was so like it's these little moments. It's like I'm gonna like this series a lot.
And then that leads into the really ambitious and questionable CGI, but hey,
It's Rider.
it's Rider. That always happens. Where it's this cool sequence of him riding on the wall,
Yeah.
and then riding down the wall, and like I'm into this.
Yeah. One cool sequence here is that since there's that red kind of force field on top of the wall, you learn that if you hit it, you pretty much die.
Right.
So because he's kicking villains into it, and then he kind of starts riding down the wall.
Yeah.
Banjo's freaking out. He's like, we're gonna die. And while they're still being chased, he grabs his drill and starts drilling into the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's holding it, and like all the other guys keep going, and the motorcycle keeps going, turns back into the cell phone, and just lands perfectly.
It doesn't even say it lands and says yeah. That was so cool. Not only are you gonna give this like questionably like awesome CGI sequence, the phone is going to transfer back. Yeah.
We did it.
So I have a question right now.
Okay.
Is Banjo the secondary rider?
I think so, and if he is, I hope he keeps that personality of like,
Yeah.
oh man, we're gonna die. I'm gonna love this so much if he keeps that.
I'm hoping he is too, because like one of the things that does bug me a little bit about Heisei Rider is that like the secondary rider, even like the new Ranger in Sentai, is somebody who shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it could work, and it could also drive me nuts and
Exactly.
be really annoying because like, who are you? And so if it's Banjo and we stick to it, then here's a guy we met in episode 1, and we can build him as a character.
Yep.
He can earn his way in,
And then give him powers.
and then give him powers.
And then we'll have even more character. You know,
Right,
like it's
exactly.
just yeah, exactly. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like what we had for people that watch Dino Charge, that what we had with Miss Morgan and Kendall.
Yeah.
And it was like, we had this whole character and then give her Purple Ranger powers, and it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
She's a thing now. Well, she always has been a thing. Love you, Claire. It's just, I really do hope he becomes the secondary rider, and I hope he keeps that personality of just like ridiculous, like I'm kind of serious, but I also know we're going to die doing this. That it's just great.
It's a really cool sequence immediately afterwards where they're on the motorcycle and he's like, just
be the
like
one,
he's
be
like,
the one.
Sento's like, you know what? Stupid people don't realize they're stupid, so you shouldn't call yourself stupid.
yeah.
And then, so that was like, okay, that's cool. And he's like, oh yeah, and your fly was down because you're stupid. And he's like, why didn't you tell me? Don't call me stupid. You just said I wasn't.
It's nice to know that how like he notices these little things, you know, like these little throwaway lines like, oh, your fly's open. It's like you notice how big of an IQ this guy actually has, and it's just like he notices all the subtle things, like someone's fly. It's such a nice touch, and like I feel like the writing for this season is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Well,
I can tell that this is the writer who's like, this is the guy I found. He wrote Densho Otoko.
Yeah,
And a movie I'm a huge fan of called Crow Zero. And
I've heard about it, but I have not watched
it's
it.
really cool. And I'm a big fan of Densho Otoko, Train Man, and Crow Zero. And when I found out this dude's doing writer, I'm like, well, that's promising. And what I like about this first episode is like, oh, you can tell this is written by a person who has a lot of writing experience.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel like I'm just dropping a bunch of random stuff and let's see if it sticks. And like, no, like it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but I can see there's build up and there's stuff that he hopes to pay off.
Right.
Like the Smash Day defeat episode, he runs off into the field.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna assume we're gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really cool. That's what I'm excited about.
These Build and Q Ranger. For anyone that has seen me gush about Q Ranger, I am in love with the writing for Q Ranger, and it's just so good. And so seeing what this episode holds is like, oh man, are we gonna like have two awesome Toku shows running at the same time?
We did with X-Aid and Q Ranger. They're running at the same time.
I'm just gonna beat you up off screen. That's
Actually,
we just turn off
it's
his
on
mic?
paper. We switch over to hashtag.
You want to
show,
Photoshop
super
Jan's
chat.
face over?
But it's just like
JDF double.
just green screw him out and put another JD here. I'm really
One's
excited
asleep, one's
because
awake.
it's been such a long time that I've actually been looking forward to writers, and that makes me feel so happy. I have no idea, because the last one I looked forward to was like kind of Drive and Gaim, and then kind of Ghost and.
Also have Ghosts.
Yeah, no, same. Because like I watch Ghost and I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I know some people really rag on Ghost. I'm like, it's okay, but I wasn't that excited about it, and I'm sorry. And
I like when you have to look for your approval. It's like, I'm sorry.
But this, yeah, I'm with you. This show is definitely making me feel like, ooh, hey, Kamen Rider, it's on television again.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me.
Always been on television.
It makes me happy.
No, I as an X8 fan, going in, I was kind of scared that I wasn't going to like Build because it was going to be too different. And while it is different, it's not different in a bad way to a point where it's
It takes
kind of
certain
pushing
like
me away.
traits from like X8.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
and
So
you build.
You can acknowledge
upon
it's
them.
like this is a different this is a different kind of
yeah,
character.
and I mean I like it. There's certain
Yeah.
things like the whole cranking thing that I'm not a huge fan of. But I mean, I understand that the henshin sequences are going to get shorter as it progresses. So
Yeah.
if anything, it'll do one shake, one twist, and he's already henshin.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes they might do the whole Ranger thing where he's like running behind a wall and he comes back on the other side already henshin.
Oh yeah, the
a big-
flash morphing. That's
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this.
So like, I mean, it'll probably do some of those a few times. So I'm not against it. I'll keep watching it because I am enjoying it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go home and watch the second episode later. So.
I'm really excited for this. It's been so long since I've liked writers. And now I have a season that I could potentially like. Please don't screw up Build. Please. Like, oh man.
How about you, Jan? How do you feel about the first episode and prospects of the show?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I'm not like that high up on it. Just because it's like the first episode, so
Not trying
you
to hype
know.
yourself up too much.
Yeah, so it was cool. I thought it was a little weird, but you know, for Kamen Riders, that's always gonna be kind of.
It's always gonna be a little
Yeah,
weird.
it's always kind of weird. But
You're talking what was your thing? Kung Fu fighting cyborg Bugman?
Who rides a motorcycle?
That's like you're gonna have a weird show. You just kind of have to kind of just accept the weird, and it will get better.
Yeah.
So my fear is that it's gonna be like too much like double.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm kind of worried about too.
You know, because the aesthetics are.
I feel like
pretty common.
I feel like the aesthetic of like different half modes is like gonna be the one thing that will it will remind you of Double.
Yeah.
The show itself, it doesn't seem like it has a lot in common with Double.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
structurally, because Double is like a pseudo
like detective type.
like pseudo safe for kids like noir stuff.
Yeah.
And like this is totally, if anything, this is like what I'm kind of digging about the show is like this is gonna be hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
Or harder sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm like, let me hold on. Let me phrase it. Hard sci-fi.
Well, one of the things that like does kind of bother me, and I was talking to another friend about this, is like the reason why people liked Power Rangers Dino Charge so much is because we had so much bad before it, and now we have good.
Yeah.
And I'm a little afraid that that's why we're liking Build so much.
Yeah.
You're telling
no.
me X-Head wasn't good?
No. It was
So
absolutely
this is
awful.
kind of like DC with like Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a
Like-
little afraid that that's why we're like hyping it up so much.
I'm trying to control that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand that totally.
and then
'Cause
Dino Charge just let us down by the end.
Yeah. No, but one thing that we were talking about earlier was the motorcycle. Because the motorcycle he uses as a civilian is a cell phone
Oh yes.
motorcycle, and he uses the exact same motorcycle as a rider. and at the end of the episode, now he's a wanted fugitive. So
but Sento's still gonna go to work on that bike.
And if they don't put that together, that's gonna bother me.
Here's the thing, I'm gonna tell you,
There's no
they
license
won't.
plate on there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they're never gonna put that together.
Yeah,
Because this is what happens.
It's gonna bother me.
It will, and I'm sorry, because in Double, like, despite the fact that Shotaro drives literally Double's motorcycle, no one ever calls him.
Yes.
Gen is literally driving the same bike as Forza. No one ever calls him out on
Nope.
it. That's just like they actually made an effort back in the day. Hongo's bike actually did turn into the Cyclone.
Yeah.
Back in the day, but no. So I'm sorry. This will be the thing that you will not like.
This is a distinct motorcycle that, like every other motorcycle before this, like you could kind of like give a pass to like Double's bike.
This one has a giant.
There's a giant thing in the back of it,
and like gears and the front, and it looks so distinct.
You can't.
Sento, your bikes looks a lot like that mysterious wanted Kamen Rider. Oh, that's weird.
It's like the thing
I'm
in
borrowing it.
It's like the thing in Pokemon games when you like have the legendary in your party, and it's like someone comments on like, "Oh wow, is that a Pokegear?" There's a giant Guardian of the Sea right behind me, and you're not gonna comment on that? Like, it's in plain sight, and I really hope, for storytelling's sake, that it is a recurring thing that they will notice. Hoping. But
you know what? If they do, then that'll be super cool, and I'll totally applaud them for that.
They're scientists. They're not motorcycle people. That's why.
That's their app. All bikes look the same to me.
All bikes look the same. I don't know.
Like, we're nerds. We don't care.
You know
about
what? If they
cars
acknowledge
and
that,
motorcycles.
if they acknowledge that throughout the season, and no one ever be like, "Oh, that looks familiar." Whatever. I'm gonna laugh every single episode because that's gonna be so funny. It's just like they acknowledged it, but I'm really looking forward to it. Jumping in comments really quick. So I had Mars Girl. She was saying that if I can be honest, I couldn't feel the power behind that rider kick because it looked more like a slide, like a fun ride and a static pose than a powerful kick. I'm sure the slide momentum is powerful, but the rider himself doesn't feel like personally doing a powerful thing. The slide looks fun, but I miss a good, powerful, real, actual kick. I agree. But I do like the aesthetic of the kick, and I do agree. I feel like it could have looked more powerful.
Someone asked, what do we think of the builds theme? I haven't heard it yet. I've been holding off on it.
Like, it's kind of at the end.
It's at the ending.
Yeah. I don't like to watch the endings. This is going to tell me.
No. It's like when they're driving away.
Oh, I wasn't
like,
paying attention.
Yeah.
I was just like, his zipper was down.
Well, you're like 5.
Of course. I'm watching Kamen Rider.
Touche. I don't feel like here's the thing. Like, I can't really judge the theme yet because I feel like I have to. When it's put to the opening, then I can make a real judgment on the theme.
Right.
So right now I'm like, okay, it sounds like a pop song.
Cool.
It sounds cool. I'm okay with it. But I'll see when they actually start having the really fun. Here's everyone in the show shots.
The whole like.
Yeah.
The whole like.
The turn and smile.
The
turn and smile. When we get to that point, I'll have a real opinion on it.
Yasin Bolhan said a lot of recent rider kicks have felt pretty floaty to me. So going over the top of the slide pushes it to hilarity to me, but I do miss the classic rider kicks.
The last one I really felt an impact from was Drive.
The last one was Q Ranger for me.
Rider kick?
Scorpion?
Oh, that's right.
He wraps his tail around his foot.
Okay, touche. Yeah, you're right.
Because
awesome
the thing about Drive's kick, for anyone that hasn't seen Drive, he summons his car and it does this full circle around him, and then he bounces off the car and then proceeds to kick them.
Yeah.
Like, I would shit myself.
That's a very thorough kick.
So for Forza, he looks like a rocket, right?
Yeah.
So I
and
haven't
a
seen
drill
it yet.
foot.
So,
with a drill foot.
Does he fly up into space?
A yellow drill foot.
And then kind of just
Well,
plummet to the earth?
well,
Because that would be amazing.
What
I would watch
happens?
it immediately.
What happens is he turns on 2 of them. He rocket and drill. So one arm turns into a rocket, he flies up in the air, and then proceeds to
But
drill.
does he go into space?
He has a motorcycle that does that.
No, but does he during the kick?
Not
does
in
he
the
go
kick.
into
He
space?
does not do
I'm not
a.
interested.
He's going to space. What the
Actually,
heck, man?
I don't know.
He doesn't do it. He doesn't go to space all the time.
He has the double rocket where he does.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he does.
I'm just saying it would have more impact if it was during the kick, but I'm just
Listen, you got plenty of impact going up.
The thing is, like, to add more salt to the wound, Forze goes up into the atmosphere and loses the track of the target, and then proceeds to go back down and kick them. It's like, I lost you, but I'm gonna find you, and I'm going to kick you.
With my pointy head.
You know what always look like a painful kick is double when he splits.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, ooh no, ooh, ow, no, thank you.
But the treads on builds, I think that would still hurt because you're pulling on it on the skin, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'm sure
it'll hurt you.
Yeah.
Skin. Whatever skin those smashes
The smash.
The smash. So Larry Nubo says, I like the Wizard's Rider kick.
What is Wizard's Rider kick? Is
it through a portal?
Doesn't he do a flip or something?
It looks like a
Didn't he say it?
Oh, he does like a spiral kick in midair and then goes down on the Rider kick.
Oh, I remember that. That one was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wizards.
I should know this because I'm watching Wizards.
Wizards was kind of cool too, where he does the flip and then jump in the air and then.
You know what's a crazy good over the top kick is Kiva's.
Oh yeah. He kicks him into the moon.
He makes it night.
He changes the time of day.
Changes the time of day, then kicks him in the moon.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive.
I like X8's Rider kick.
Does he call the monster Alice? To the moon, Alice.
No, it's not. He's not Ralph.
Like, oh god, what was Deno's again? Deno didn't really have a Rider kick-ish. He did, but later on. Lightning on his kick.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of more over-the-top Rider kicks.
Black Wing said, what about Ryuki's kick? AKA Dragon Knight.
Oh, with the dragon. And just... That's kind of overkill, too. But it's like, it's kind of a giving, granted his gimmick. He just summons his giant Zord thing and kicks... Like, a lot of these riders are just... overkill. Especially in, like, the anniversary movies when they summon all the riders to, like... flying sidekick.
Was Decade the one where it's the all rider kick?
Yeah.
Like all the rider
and
kicks.
just destroy this castle with their feet. It's just.
I love Kamen Rider when it does this.
I love Kamen Rider so much.
Oh my god, that's great.
So, what are your thoughts now on like where a build is gonna go from here? Like, where do you think? Where's it gonna go?
It's gonna go directly into my queue. Things to watch. No, I think it's gonna. I think Banjo's gonna be a secondary rider. I think he's gonna together they're gonna discover. Well, Banjo being around, kind of remembering most of this stuff is gonna help.
So
him find the Batman, right?
The Pandora's box. Let's jump back to that. Okay. Where do you think how do you think that's gonna tie into everything?
That's gonna be. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't really put too much thought into the Pandora's box.
Justin.
I feel like whatever. There's a possibility that like the corporation that Sento's working for, they might probably be the guys behind the experimentation on people, and the Pandora's box is somehow tied into all that such. And I mean, because that's a thing too, where it's like Rider, like clearly there has to be some kind of a shocker.
Yeah. In the anniversary, this is the 10th Neo Heisei Rider, or 9th, 10th.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well, this is also the last Heisei.
Yeah. So
Rider.
we're gonna have like that obligatory shocker. Like reference, the anniversary reference.
Yeah, maybe it's Foundation X because no one remembered what happened to Foundation X. Y'all remember Foundation
That
X?
is a thing from Double
O's to Forze.
Wait, did they talk about Foundation X in X-Aid?
No.
No?
Ooh.
Okay, I want
That'd be a heck of a thing.
I want to know.
Foundation X has been brought back.
Unless Foundation X owned the Genwu Corporation, they just never mentioned it.
Fan theories, here we go.
Only on PCR.
I wouldn't know even where to start with like the Pandora boxing and how it ties in the build.
I mean, it's possible that that's kind of how they're making the Smash.
Yeah.
Because what's his face? creepy scientist dude whose name I'm forgetting.
I think he's the main villain.
I'm pretty sure he's Batman.
Yeah, I bet you.
Night Rogue?
He's
Bat
gonna
Unicorn?
be Bat
Unicorn.
Unicorn Man.
Yeah.
So and I'm pretty sure they do all these experiments on them, and then they have them touch Pandora's box, and they turn into Smash, and say, "Hey, go wreak havoc, go give people a hard time."
If you see a nerd, stuff him in a locker real quick.
Yeah, give him a
Give him a swirly.
yeah.
Steal that kid's lunch money. Just give him a hard time.
Pants him in front of a girl. Like,
Whatever. The usual round.
It's just what I'm worried about.
Thinking Monty R Smash.
What I'm really worried about is that I really liked Kamen Rider O's, but the problem with that series was that it was an anniversary season, and it was like 2 episodes, and then it was anniversary fan crap, and then 2 episodes of plot, anniversary, blah blah blah, anniversary, and so the plot was really like watered down by the time it got to the end, and no one really cared because it was just like, oh, he's teaming up with Ichigo again. Cool. And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen with Build because, anniversary rider technically. So, please be good. Please be good.
I mean, to me, as long as it's better than X8, and I really enjoyed X8, I'm gonna have a good time. So.
All right.
So,
And yeah.
for everyone out there, what would you rate this first episode, and what are you really looking forward to in the coming episodes? What's the one thing you're really hoping for? Like a super power up? He goes into space.
He becomes a Super Saiyan.
Really? Another X-Aid reference?
Yes.
Are you? I can't believe you.
I can totally believe me.
This is gonna be an awful show.
I'm just gonna deal with this every week.
I hope he erases all of X8 from existence.
Why would
in
you
the
do
show.
that? Spoilers, he killed Genmu at some point during X8, so, I mean, who knows?
Did he really?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'm telling you, watch X8.
Wait, Build?
Build killed Genmu.
Is in the last?
Wait,
the last episode?
He's the last.
Wait,
Oh yeah, he did.
is Build
I did watch
canon to X8?
Well, at the end of X8, they made like a shot for him.
Huh.
But in that way that you're like, hey, look, we show him earlier, but we're not going to talk about this appearance ever again.
Yeah,
It's a
like if
crossover
they
movie.
meet again in the future, are they going to be like, oh, hey, you're Kamen Rider Build. Oh, you're X8.
I mean,
Probably.
Yeah, because I work for Bandai and Toei. I know the answers, Darrel. I'm kidding.
You do? That's cool.
No, I have no idea. I hope so. That'd be cool.
Do you see this? This smart.
See? Build isn't the only smarter ass around.
It's great because, like, in regular life, if someone tells me something like, the Captain Obvious thing, I look into this imaginary camera and I go, do you see this? And then you get the people that are like, who are you talking to? The camera. You don't see the camera? But now I actually have a camera to look into to go, do you see this?
So you pretend to break the fourth wall?
Yes.
I used
All
to
of
do
the
that,
time.
too. I used to watch Malcolm in the Middle, and I would just talk to the camera while Mom was yelling at me. Like, what are you talking about?
So let's see. Our friend Denica.
Hey, Denny.
Oh my MG, it's real. I'm assuming you're talking about Kamen Rider Korner. Darrel, do you really dislike X8? Yes. But I dislike it for the fact that it's a Kamen Rider series. If it was a completely different tokusatsu, I would probably enjoy it.
Here's what you do. Just pretend it's not a Kamen Rider series.
But it is.
You already pretend it's not. Might as well go in with that mindset.
It's
You're gonna
really
love it.
hard when they're done in their henshin. They all yell, I am a Kamen Rider.
I am a Kamen Rider.
Like everyone. It's almost like they have to remind me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, in case
I
you forgot.
swear they're Kamen Riders.
But it gets to a point where like they completely skip that part and they go directly into level 2. And sometimes they don't even do level 2. They're like in level 50 right off the bat.
There's a moment in X8 where Laser turns into a bike and he says, and then Poppy goes, it's Kamen Rider Laser. And I tell my friend, pause the video. And he's like, yes, you're freaking telling me the bike itself is a Kamen Rider.
Is it like
That's amazing.
Transformers the movie?
No.
With like the junkyard robots.
He's like Kit from Knight Rider.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Where like they turn into a motorcycle, and then when they fall off, the other one turns into a motorcycle, and then the one turns to jump on him.
when what's his name? The black Kamen Rider.
Genmer?
Is that who he is? He jumps out and he beats a whole bunch of people on a BMX bike.
Yeah. And then he puts it on and it becomes armor. And it's amazing. It's just watch it, enjoy it.
I don't go to raves. I don't do drugs. I don't drink Mountain Dew.
And I don't watch Kamen Rider X8.
You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't watch Kamen Rider X8.
So this is how much I love X8, right?
Okay, all right.
There's a point where Laser, he's actually a humanoid at this point.
Yeah.
He's riding the bike that he used to be, and he's wearing the bike armor. So it's a bike on bike on bike.
He's riding the bike he used to be.
Yeah.
How is he riding the bike he used to be?
It's
if
complicated.
He's the bike?
Okay, no.
Yeah,
it's
I can
explained
tell.
in the series. It's explained in the series.
Okay,
and
it's
amazing.
explained in the series.
But it's just this funny, like, not. It's hilarious to me. It's like the bike character is on a bike while wearing a bike, and it's amazing.
I will say Kira is one of my favorite characters in the show.
great.
Like, because he's the only one who gives a damn.
He's great.
But yeah, like the biggest reason in the 4 episodes I did see of X8 was that everyone's a doctor, right? They should be saving people. There's an episode, and I forget which one of the 4.
One of them was an ex-doctor.
Whatever.
Okay? He's the reason why they're fighting. Okay?
I don't care. Like, they're all like having this battle royale over something,
a video
and
game.
there's this person dying, and I'm like, you're not going to save this person? And then there's home dude that's like, I can cut anything. It's just, and he takes the knife and he like cuts this pie, and it's just, I can't.
It's funny what you could handle, what you can't handle, because you could completely look past all these other ridiculous Kamen Rider tropes, but you can't handle someone.
But
cutting
Forze
pie.
was amazing.
I'm with him on that one.
Forze was so good.
Forza was really good. Although I hated the suit so much.
I like the suit. I like the suit now.
It reminds me of the
everything but the
Marshmallow Man.
I like
You don't like marshmallows? Who doesn't like marshmallows?
I do like marshmallows, but not
Kamen
in my
Rider
Kamen
Michelin
Rider.
Man.
Again, for me, it's like, it is just for me, like, with X8, I just didn't get invested in the characters enough. And, like, even if it looked exactly the same, if I liked the characters, I would have been forgiving, like how I am about Forza. Because I was the same thing with Forza.
Yeah.
I looked at the design and went, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I saw the show and went, I love everything about this now.
Yeah.
And so if I enjoyed the characters in X8, which it wasn't to my taste, I was like,
I didn't like any of the characters.
I didn't like any of the characters. And everyone, like, dogpiled on Ember.
It's one of those things that, like,
repeatedly.
don't judge a book by its cover, but it's really hard when the entire cover is the show. So it's just, okay, so we have some ratings. Mars Girl, an 8 out of 10 maybe. So long as the story holds up, I'm sticking with it. Okay. The gimmick, however, means nothing to me, and I don't care about any of the power-ups coming. Just write a good story. Okay. 100% agree.
Yeah, I'm totally with that, yeah.
Because the bottle thing is already kind of, whatever, you know.
I'm gonna buy them.
The cranking, yeah. Like,
Story will like forgive all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
To me, since there's like no like legal way to watch Rider in the United States, I support it by buying the toys. So as long as the show is good, I will buy the toys.
you know, I was talking about this on Henshin Hangout actually. Toei is very well. Joe was on hashtag was making fun of me, but Toei is very well aware of how we get these episodes because you know when they especially for Japan World Heroes, how do we know who these people are? First of all, like Google, and we're just huge fans because of it. No, they know about the subs. However, they're okay with it because we buy the toys.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that until Shout Factory finally subs everything, they're okay with it.
I think they should just kind of make their own site. You know, go the Crunchyroll route.
I totally agree.
I will pay monthly, and I'll still buy the toys if I like the series.
If Toei, once Toei realizes they can sub and release old Toku shows on a streaming site over here, just like you said, like Crunchyroll, you'll notice the people who would buy it.
Because
it's possible. You have
Ultraman
you have
on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. And it's possible to do like next day, even within the hour subs. You know, like to release them.
It happens with Funimation.
Funimation does it. I think Crunchyroll does it too.
Yeah.
It's possible, and I would pay for that service.
Yeah.
And I would still buy the toys. I just want like a legit way to watch it.
And I would love to tell people, hey, Forza is great, and then here's a really legal way of doing it.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. It's like, so how do you watch Kamen Rider?
Here's a really shady site, you know.
TV Nihon? Do you have torrents?
At one point, they were trying to come up with like a Tokatsu like network actual TV show.
Tokatsu is a food.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Tokusatsu.
Yeah, that one too. But like like an actual network.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be like a paid thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember this because like me and my brother were talking about it. Like, hey, you want to go in half on this? And it never happened.
That
But
would
we
be
were just
really
like,
great.
This would be really dope.
Yeah, because I mean, they could charge the $10 a month that Netflix charges, and
Sure.
I'm willing to pay that.
Yeah.
Because we'll get Super Sentai, we'll get Kamen Rider, and like not just the new seasons that are currently out, but the backlog.
Yeah.
They could add Metal Heroes on there. They could add Ultraman on there, and
And we would never see the sun again.
Yeah.
This is the thing with Kamen Rider is like Kamen Rider is such a legendary franchise in Japan and in Tokusatsu, and it's the fact that like we were lucky to get Ultraman.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird to me that like no one thought to do the same for Kamen Rider. No one at the same time went, "Oh, Ultraman did pretty decent here. What's another one?"
Exactly.
And Kamen Rider didn't get here, and I'm always still surprised by that. In that time period, I went, really, no one thought look at Kamen Rider.
Like we have Power Rangers, we have Ultraman.
Well, like in the 70s, like after Ultraman came out in the
Yeah.
60s, like I'm sort of shocked that no one went, well, let's get this other one.
Exactly.
And they kind of just didn't see what the appeal was.
Maybe we should just adapt it and call it Masked Rider and add a Furby, and it's just. Oh man. Furbus.
I'm sorry.
yeah, but
Continue.
I mean,
I'm
Toei,
just
if you're
gonna
watching, do a subscription service.
Yeah.
I would gladly pay for it.
People make fun of me for how much like anime I watch. No, if they made a streaming service for all the Toku shows, I would actually never leave my house.
Which is okay because you work from home.
I wouldn't even do that.
How would you pay for the service?
That is something that Darrel will have to deal with at the moment.
I'll deal with it when the time finally comes. Let's see. Blackwing 2040, 9 out of 10 for me. Denica, 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Wait, I'm excited for the season. Sorry.
Yeah, she is excited. I'm excited too.
Let's see. Blackwing 24. Oh, it's my first Kamen Rider episode. I'm
miss you
freaking
too,
out.
Danica.
I'm so glad that this is your first Kamen Rider episode because it's great. And again, it's one of those things that's like, you should watch the show I'm watching. What is it? Kamen Rider Build. What is it about? How do you watch it? So, I'm glad that you're finally like on the ball and it's like, having fun watching this. Let's see. Forms blow my mind. I love them. Larry Newbill, 4.5 out of 5 because the cell phone says, yeah! when it goes back to phone. Can you imagine though? It's like, as a text message saying, yeah! In your back pocket. Sorry, let me take this.
I've never dropped my phone and it said, yeah. So, especially from a giant wall. So that would be great.
I'll be totally into that.
When we were talking about Kamen Rider X-Aid, Mars Girl, that's how I feel about Forza. I never felt Forza was a Kamen Rider. Understandable.
That's again opinion. Totally about
It's completely understandable because when I saw Forza, I wanted to hate it. I did, but I love it. It's so good. The power of friendship will surpass all. Let's see. You gotta love Japan. They love making this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Daniel Jerome. Wait, so what? What are you talking about?
Is he surprised that the show's happening?
Yeah, Mars Girl. Forza spent shockingly little time in space or interacting with other space-related riders from the franchise's past. Yeah, for a 40th anniversary rider, he did really interact a whole lot, but for what he did do, I like it. Yeah. It wasn't super anniversary saturated, and that's what I really like.
And I understand, like, there was a weird thing of, like, it's a show that's, it's kind of, this is a case where it is like X8 and Wonder Grade. It's like, there's a space-themed writer, yet it's a high school show.
Yeah.
Like, X8 is a video-gamed writer, yet he's also a doctor. And that's one of those cases where I'm like, I like the writing for Forza so much that I could forgive it not being a straight-up astronaut show.
Exactly.
And, I mean, there's enough space tie-ins for me to go, it justifies the space
I'm
thing.
telling you, give X8 40 episodes and you'll be like,
there are 42 episodes. That's the entire show.
Yeah, and then you'll want to watch 41 to see.
No, I already watched 41 and 42. I'm good.
Found a lot of good stuff, man.
Oh my gosh.
Like the bike on bike. You missed it.
I felt like I lived it with you. It's fine. Like you told me and I imagined it. I'm good. I'm happy with my version.
We will get through all of Kamen Rider X8 with you, just telling us about it.
This is the worst naughty video I've ever not watched. Like bike on bike.
All bikes all the time.
All right, but I think we're going to call it here because we've been talking about like riders for a long time.
Yeah, a really long time.
Yeah.
How long have we been on?
I don't even know. But so we're gonna try and do this next Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So next Sunday, please tune in again for Kamen Rider Corner. This is gonna be a thing we're gonna try and do all the time. In the comments below, please leave after the video finishes because it's not gonna save like these comments that you're typing right now. Wait till the video's over and then post them. I want to know what you guys are really looking forward to, what your expectations were, and what your first Kamen Rider was. If it was this one, what did you like about it? So this is the part of the show where we do the shameless plugs.
Okay.
So you guys can find me on all of my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Darrel J. Delphin. You can also find me on that hashtag show, on Ranger Rap, Pension Hangout, and Anime Super Chat. That's a whole bunch of things, but you can find me on hashtag show, blah, blah, blah. Ask me on social media. And then...
I am GL Jimmy. That's capital G, capital L, Jimmy. I'm that on Instagram, Twitter. That's my website. And I'm Jimmy is a Geek here on YouTube.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Justin Kizon, JustinQuizon. You can find me on Instagram at Justin Quiz. Like I said earlier, I have 2 podcasts.
I thought you said Tupac for a sec. I was like, what?
I'm Tupac. I believe
you look a lot different.
Well,
it happens when you age, you know.
Yeah. I also co-write a webcomic that is absolutely Kamen Rider inspired.
Oh, that's cool.
Called Shining Yusha.
Shining Yusha.
And that's available on... Thank you. That's available on Tumblr, and you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just look up Shining Yusha, and we're a page a week web comic. We just started, so... and page 3 just showed up, and we have our first monster attack,
Woo!
So... Get ready to meet our hero.
I want to read this now. This sounds cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's it. That's where you can find me.
All right, and you can find me on all social media at Lint324. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then on hashtag behind the scenes, on all the Ranger stuff, chances are he's behind the scenes, and you could just, hey JDF, what's up? JDF, can you pull up that video? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Inside joke. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching Kamen Rider Corner here on Pop Culture Renegades. If you like this video, please share this out. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Please favorite it. You know, all that stuff.